This session is to discuss and describe the T2T admin applet. So this is the overview. So we will go through the T2T admin applet. We will introduce the applet first, uh, what it is and what's the benefits, and then we will move on to all the features that we have in the applet. So we'll start with the introduction. So what is actually the T2T admin applet is? So let's understand the T2T admin applet. So first, the overview of the tenant-to-tenant transactions. So the T2T applet serves as a pivotal platform for tenants, enabling seamless synchronization, access, and information mapping between different tenants. It primarily facilitates transaction between two entities, usually wholesalers and online retailers, thereby enhancing collaboration and product or service exchange. This applet provides a structured approach to connecting tenants, which is essential for facilitating diverse business processes. And then we need to know about the terminology in order to understand the features further. So we need to understand the host and guest tenants. So basically, within this ecosystem, the tenant who initiates the connection is referred to as host tenant, while the tenant that accepts the invitation is termed the guest tenant. This distinction is crucial for understanding the roles each tenant plays in the transaction process. By establishing this connection, the guest tenant gains access to host tenant's data, promoting transparency and efficiency in transactions. Next steps to establish connection. Initiating a connection involves several key steps. The host tenant must create a new guest tenant from guest teams, map the company structure, and finally map the items. Conversely, to modify host tenant's details, users can edit main details, company mappings, permitted items for better management of tenant relationship. This process ensures that both parties have a clear understanding and structured flow of information. So we'll move on. So what's the benefit of this applet? So first is the enhanced communication between tenants. So the T2T applet fosters improved communication between tenants entities by allowing real-time data access and sharing. This capability reduces delays in transaction, enhances responsiveness, and ultimately helps to build stronger partnership. Next is streamlined operation for businesses. By facilitating an organized method for connecting tenants, this applet streamlines operations, allowing for quicker resolution of issues and more effective collaboration in fulfilling orders or sharing information. This integration supports operational efficiency and can lead to increased productivity across business environments. And then we have the greater flexibility in data management. This applet also enhances flexibility in managing tenant data, enabling host tenant to control what information can be shared with the guest tenant. This tailored approach not only secures sensitive information but also allows specific data sets relevant to the guest tenant's needs, making it a versatile tool for businesses. Now we will move on to the features that we have in the applet. So first, as you see the right-hand image, that we have the admin applet, and then we have different menus. We have the guest tenant, host tenant, guest teams, and audit trail on the left sidebar. So now we are talking about the guest tenant listing. So upon entering the T2T admin applet, users are directed to the guest tenant listing page, which you see on the right-hand side. This initial dashboard provides a comprehensive overview of all connected tenants, functioning as an essential starting point for tenant management. Uh, the, let's talk about the information displayed here. So this is the listing of the invited guests or the connected guests. So the key information reflected in the guest tenant listing includes the guest tenant name, unique tenant code, mapping date, modified date, and the overall status of the connection. This data enables host tenant to track and manage their tenant relationship effectively. And then we need to understand the connection status of guests. The status of guest tenants can fluctuate between four states: uh, live, disconnected, suspended, or deleted. As you see the inside the status here. This classification helps users to quickly assess the operational state of each connection, thus prompting necessary actions to maintain and update tenant relationship. Let's understand the status indicators because this is a pivotal step. So for the live connection, the status indicates that guest tenant is fully operational, actively accessing and interacting with the tenant services and data. This status is essential for ongoing business transactions. The disconnected connection status suggested that uh, the guest tenant is not currently engaged with the host tenant, which could due to various reasons, including system errors or business decisions. Other status indicators like the suspended status might significantly temporarily inaccessibility, signify temporarily inaccessibility possibility due to compliance issues or system updates, while deleted denotes that connection has been permanently severed. Understanding this status aids to prompt decision making and management strategies. Now let's talk about the contents and how to create a guest tenant in the applet. So in the picture you see, you need to click on the plus button in the listing, and then you will it will take you to the add new guest tenant, and basically you need to input the name, guest tenant code, status, and remarks. Now let's talk about the process of adding a new guest tenant. So to initiate the creation process, the host tenant must click the plus button leading to the new guest tenant page. Here, users are prompted to fill vital details about the new guest tenant, as I showed in the previous slide. Uh, so this ensures the process to integrate into the system. Now, the critical information required, you need to fill all the required fields, like which tenant you want to connect with, and the current status you want to put in. And then after that you can click on save, and then it will initialize the connection process. Now the invited tenant notification. Hence, after submission, the invited guest tenant will appear with the status labeled as invited on the guest tenant listing page. This designation helps the host tenant to track pending invitation and manage the follow-up actions. So after you created the connection, then they must accept the invitation in order for the connection to be established. And then after that, after the connection is active and live, then you can basically start mapping the company and items. So next we'll move forward to the guest tenant edit. Access the guest and records. Then we can manage the edit restrictions, and then yeah, we have other information. So to edit the existing guest tenant information, host tenant must select the desired record from guest tenant listing page, leading them to edit the guest tenant page. This area allows the detailed management of tenants specifies vitals for ongoing relationship. And then we can basically edit the main details that we created, and then we can change the status as well. So later when it is active, then if we want to disconnect with the tenant, we can do that from the main details. And then we have the other mappings as well. Let's talk about the guest teams. So team information tracking. The guest team, this is the tab in the edit page, records comprehensive information about the teams associated with the guest tenant, paving the way to streamline permission management across the multiple users. This unique feature simplifies the administration process significantly for host tenant. Then we can create the new team with the necessary details, and then assign the permission as it is. And then we can basically manage the permissions. Can we give access to our items or company details. So as you see here, we talk about the team, and then after that, if the team has access, then we can map our company or item permission. So for the company mapping, you see like users have to first click on plus, and then in the record you see the uh, edit entity mapping. So then you have to basically fill in the guest and company name, and then the branch name, and then you'll see the my entities. So here you need to select the entity you want to collect and map with, and then after you click save, then it will map to the company. And then same goes to the item permission mapping. So you can give access to your items and then map as necessary. So if you click on the plus button, then you will basically have the listing where you will see all the items that you want to map with, and then basically you select the item and then you can map, and later you can also remove the mapping. Let's talk about audit trail management. So audit trail basically it helps you track all the changes you made, and all the things you did during the connection and during the mapping. So audit trail feature plays a vital role in the monitoring all changes made to guest tenant records. It provides transparency in operations and helps in tracking issues by tracking who made changes and what altered and what when it occurred. Uh, Second is structuring audit information. Audit trails includes critical details such as the type of tenant, guest, or host, specific action taken, creation dates, and update records, enabling easy navigation through the history of tenant interaction. And then utilization of audit trails. By analyzing audit trail, businesses can assess operational efficiency, evaluate performance, and ensure compliance, thereby enhancing overall management capabilities while uphold accountability within the tenant relationship. And then we'll talk about the leveraging audit data. So assessing operational integrity, utilizing the audit trail data allows companies to evaluate the integrity of the operational process. Regular reviews can help identify inefficiencies or potential compliance breaches that need addressing. And for security protocols, this is essential. So monitoring audit trails aids in strengthening security protocols by providing insights into users' activities and recognizing unauthorized actions, thereby allowing timely interventions if necessary. And for decision making, the insight derived from audit trails can influence strategic decision making within organization, prompting data-driven analysis and adjustment that align with the business objectives. Now we'll conclude and then proceed with the main part of the applet in live. So for summary, we can conclude that T2T Applet stands as a robust solution for managing tenant relationship and facilitate efficient transaction through structured data mapping. It features provides businesses with tools needed to improve partnership and streamline operations. Looking ahead, tenant-to-tenant interaction appears promising as business continue to leverage technology to enhance connectivity and collaboration. Continued development and adoption of the T2T applet will be crucial in meeting emerging business needs. So, call to action: businesses are encouraged to explore the functionalities of T2T applet further, considering its potential optimize operation workflows, enhance communication, and improve overall business performance. So to show live, you see here it's if you go to our platform, the account platform, we'll have the tenant-to-tenant admin applet, and then we will have all the tenants. And then basically, as I showed in the slide, you can click on plus and add all the tenant. You can add the tenant name and tenant code, and then status, and then you can basically submit. And after you have submitted, so the status will be invited. So as you see here, like if, in order to connect with Thunder Match, I have invited them to connect, and then after they will connect with me, it will be connected. And after that, if connection has occurred already, then we can change the status if we want to disconnect later. And yeah, it shows that host has approved this connection, for example. And then we can basically set all the permission, and we can add the guest teams here. So we can add the team name and status. And then as we discussed the audit trail, so it basically shows all the statuses that happened during the connection. So you deleted or created a team and everything that you need here. And we have the company mapping and then item permission mapping here. So you can basically add in all the items that you want to map with your tenant. On the other side, we have the host tenant. This information is basically crucial to see what are the items that you have permitted, what are the mapping for company, and we have the main details. So you can see the that this is just this is your tenant, and you have given permission of these items to staging tenant, and you can see all the teams that you have given access to in this menu, and you can see all the audit trail here in this menu. So if you want further demo, then you can contact Bigledger team. Yeah, thank you.